Today we have a very special guest with us. It's Sunita Kumar from Daana Original Foods, who was the Canberra Women in Business Businesswoman of the Year. Good morning, Sunita. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Daana.
You must be so excited about the award that you've received. Were you shocked and thrilled on the night?
Yes, it was a mixed emotion bag, I think. There was a momentary shock, and then there was a whole flood of emotions just thinking back in that flash of a second of all the journey that we've had. So yes, very happy, emotional. I think I shed a tear or two.
Tell me what an award like this means to you.
This was my third time round with the Canberra Women in Business that I was applying for this nomination that I'd received. And the last two times was a learning experience because I didn't make the shortlist. And this time also I approached it with the same thing that, when you're putting in an application which calls you to think hard about your journey and where you've come from and where you want to go, that in itself is a very, very rich experience according to me, because you learn a lot, which otherwise in your day-to-day operations of your running your business, you don't, so to speak, pause and think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a big, rich experience in itself. And then to win the award, it was, a moment where you feel all those tears and frustrations and happy moments. I call it like a yo-yo. I mean, when you're a business owner, it's a yo-yo. One day you're on top of the world, and the next day you're down in the slums, and you're wondering what you're doing and why you're doing it. So yes, it was a great acknowledgement of our of the achievements that we've had over the last 5 years as a business.
And you have come a long way. So tell us a little bit about how Daana Original Foods came about.
My family and I, we migrated to Australia in 2012 January. And as new migrants, we struggled to find our little toehold and then foothold and get settled into a job and finding a home and all of that. Phase was about 2 years, and after 2 years I was a little restless because we had a stable job and everything was great, but there was something missing, because the dreams with which we'd moved to Australia was one day we would start something on our own. And after about 2 years of being in Australia and calling Australia home and feeling settled, I felt that one day had already come. And that's where we started thinking. Both my husband and I, we are chefs trained back in India. And we always knew that food was the space where we would be, because that's what we're most passionate about. And in the 2-year run-up to, starting Daana, when we looking around for Indian restaurants, we saw that there's a huge space of Indian cuisine which was underrepresented or not represented at all in Canberra, which was Southern Indian and regional Indian cuisines.
Right.
And, of course, the street foods. So that was a segment which just didn't exist 5 years ago, the Indian street food segment. It was not representative of Indian cuisine in its full glory. And that's what we wanted to do. And so we started in a 40-foot shipping container down at the Acton Park in Westside. And we started serving Indian street food. And a year later, we found this opportunity and to move to a full-fledged restaurant. And we moved there. And again, we are first-time restaurant owners, so we made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, and we still do. But that's what business is all about. That's what growth is all about.
That's how you learn, yeah.
That's right. So you make mistakes, you fix them if you can. If you can't, you move on. So we moved in 2016, we moved to Curtin. And pretty much we did the same menu style that we had in the shipping container. And quickly, within about 2 months, we realized that it's not going to work, because the expectation from a restaurant setup was slightly different. Especially in a suburban area. Where we didn't have the brat and hipsters coming to us to have
different demographic.
Different type of so we had a very different clientele, and the guest profile was very different. So we quickly adapted. 3 months down the line, we changed into a seasonal menu format, and thereon the journey of the Daana that you see now started, where we introduced very, very niche Southern Indian and regional Indian cuisines. And ever since we've been doing that.
Grown in popularity tremendously.
That's right, yes. We've been blessed. We've got a huge, I'd like to call them fan following now.
I think so.
They come because they know there's something unique happening every week. So apart from our a la carte menu, each weekend on Friday and Saturday, we do what we call Dana's Bhoj, which is truly a showcase of the rich culinary heritage of India, which is served in a traditional thali, we call it. It's a platter with small little bowls which have over about 15 dishes is what we serve every weekend. Each week we go to a new state, and even if I go back to the same state and region, the menu is completely different. So our guests know that every Friday and Saturday when they come to us, they will not be necessarily ordering off the same a la carte menu.
They're getting something new every time.
Every time they visit us, it'll be something new. And also our a la carte menu changes with the season. So we have spring and summer, and then autumn and winter menu, which our guests have again really come to appreciate, because again, in that menu as well, there will always be something different from the previous menu that we would have done. So
absolutely.
This year we, with COVID happening and all of that, we had experimented, researched and developed recipes using indigenous Australian ingredients. And bang in the middle of COVID, we went ahead and took that risk again and introduced what we call the Confluence menu. So again, one of its kind, unique menu. In Canberra, there's no one else who's blended and married native Australian ingredients with authentic Indian recipes.
Absolutely amazing. Such innovation. And as you said, at a difficult time for a lot of businesses across Canberra, across Australia, across the world. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
That's true.
There's been a strong theme, I think, with the CWB Awards this year, where the people who have received their awards, their businesses have been driven by a deep-seated passion. If there's anyone listening now and they've started their own business and they think, gee, I'd really like to win one of those awards one year, were you fearful of entering, and would you tell people, don't fear it, this is something you need to do to help you move forward as well?
Absolutely. As I said, Dina, this was my third application. I still remember a conversation with business owner friend of mine. We started off our businesses almost at the same time. And when I found out about these awards, I said, you know what, we should enter this. And she said, you know what, we're not even making money, so why should we enter it? It's not about the winning. For me, it was, as I said earlier also, it is more about forcing yourself to think hard of what you have done as a business and as a person and how you've grown. And you will see that because fortunately for me, I had my previous applications. I did kind of go back to see what did I write 2 years ago, because 2 years is a long time and not a very long time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's enough time to grow, isn't it, as a business?
It is. And you see that, you don't recognize it. It's like having a child at home. You see the child every day, and then suddenly somebody from outside will tell you, oh my God, your child's grown so big. So it's like that. It's your business. You're so close to it. You don't really see it growing in that sense. But when you look at what did you write 2 years ago in your application and what am I writing now in my application, and you see that growth. And then you see, okay, that's what it took for me to get there. That's the heartaches and the heartbreaks we had along the way. And it's an acknowledgement, as I said, of, I like to get dramatic and say blood, sweat and toil.
No, absolutely.
But it is what it is. I mean, especially hospitality, it's a very hard business. We are physically on our feet for close to 14, 15 hours a day. 6 days a week. You have to have passion to be able to do it that way. And then this application process really, really makes you think hard on what did you achieve, how did you achieve it, and what's next. That's also a very important part of the process, because there is a question which says, what's next for your business? And then, you're forced to think again, because it's like you're putting your commitment out there to somebody else who's not you.
Yeah,
saying,
absolutely.
That's what I'm working towards. So there's a sense of accountability that came for me.
On that note, Sunita, what is next for you and your business?
We are working on a big project. We're hoping that Canberra will embrace it as beautifully as they have all our other projects. We are looking towards establishing what we call Daana's Pantry.
Oh.
Now, Daana's Pantry is going to be model of blending meal kits where we send you recipes with all the pre-cut, pre-portioned, pre-marinated ingredients. You just have to get cooking, and a selection of ready meals. So a model which kind of brings best of both worlds. So some nights you want to cook, some nights you don't want to cook.
Amazing. So watch this space in 2021.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Sunita, look, it's been absolutely beautiful talking to you this morning, and congratulations again on your award. It is very well deserved. And as you said, the process of applying was just so rewarding in itself.
That's right, yes. So anyone who's dreaming of or thinking of starting a business and is afraid to not put their names up, I would say do it because it will help you grow.
Thank you so much for giving us your time today for Women Wednesday, Sunita.
My pleasure entirely, Dina. Thank you so much for calling.